Hey, what's up? Fast Freddie here. Hey, what's up? Fast Freddie here. This time around on the Fast Freddie Rocks Youngstown podcast,
What's causing all this? Woo!
Put Scooter on the phone, you bird brain.
What do you do, backflips? You jump up there in a silly suit? What do you do?
You go BAM! I want you to play that. Boom.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Time again for Fast Freddie Rocks Youngstown. And I almost didn't have to show up for the show today because
we were kind of hoping you wouldn't.
My guest
I
today,
did, Freddie. I was hoping you can.
my guest today's got her own TV show, but she can't get enough of it.
I can't get enough TV, radio. I just want it all. Podcasts.
The queen of all
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
The king of all media. We have the queen of all media. Casey Malone is here with us today, and we got some big happenings going on. And also my buddy Rudy from Magic Tree in Boardman.
That's right, my partner in crime.
Yes.
Yes, he and I have been. We have been very busy planning the high holiday.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is going to be, ground zero, headquarters. I don't know what you want to call it.
I like headquarters. I like both. I like
Yeah.
headquarters. I like
Party headquarters, whatever you want to call it.
We're starting it. It's not a day. It's a week.
Of course. Well, we all know that.
Yeah, we're gonna roll out the whole week. We're gonna roll out the whole week for St. Pat. So we're just getting ready for that.
Yeah, and we're getting ready for the parade on the 13th, which is a Sunday. So then he's got beer week. He's got local beer all week leading up to the big day.
Yeah,
he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, we're gonna roll and just start it off with the parade, which this year I think is going to be huge. I think it's going to be huge. I know Casey's nervous about it, but
I just pray we have a mild day.
I think everybody's been cooped up, and I think it's time to go. It's time to get back. Start making those memories again. And I think the parade's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. And then again this year after the parade, everybody's coming back to Magic Tree. So we
and Fred's going to be there.
And Fred's going to be the big guy.
Yeah,
and Casey Malone together again.
Look at us on the high holiday. Well, when I came last year, I had laryngitis and I couldn't talk.
Right.
So it really stunk. It really blew. So I'm hoping I have my voice.
So that is really cool, though, man. I mean, I'm with Rudy on this. I really feel that everybody is just ready to bust out. Yeah. We haven't had a true St. Patty's Day, Youngstown St. Patty's Day party in like 2 years. And I
Yeah.
think everybody that I talk to anyways is just ready to bust out and just have a good time.
We've gotten so many entries for the parade and a lot of new ones. You know, we do have a lot of regulars that always come and do things, but I'm seeing a lot of different entries coming in. And now, you know, we're having this huge party at the Magic Tree following it. And I think it's just going to be a great, you know, practice run for the big day.
Yeah, you know, just
You
even
know,
starting
I
with
do.
that, we're going to have almost a 5,000 square foot tent in the parking lot, heated with lights.
Entertainment inside, outside. I mean, the whole place is going to be rocking.
Yeah,
It
run
really
down some
is.
of the entertainment because
Well,
we have a
just,
good.
we got some entertainment after the parade. We have No Funk, No Justice that are going to be outside in the tent,
Yeah,
starting
one
at 3
section.
o'clock,
They're
I believe.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And then we have RDNA inside on stage from 4 to 7. Along with that, you know, we're going to have Fred here on stage entertaining a little bit, doing
Yeah.
some giveaways. We're going to have
Full
some
moon
Irish
over
music.
Killarney. You never know what could happen.
Well, you know, I can never do. That's the one thing about Magic Tree, which I do have a little bit of a complaint. You know, I like to be the party host and everything, but it's a family atmosphere,
It is.
and I cannot hang the full moon over Killarney because there's too many kids there. Now, when I'm at some dive bar, you know, I usually hang the full moon over Killarney
I
just
think
for my
he did it.
friends.
I think he did it in front of Coach Tressel over at Sully's one
You
year.
know, if it was at Sully's back in the day, yes.
You'll never know what
Yes.
happens towards the end of the night.
That's true. You might not even remember it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go back a minute. Let's reminisce a little bit about some of the St. Patty's Day parties we've had at Sully's,
gosh.
because this is how we really started kicking St. Patty's Day in
Oh
gear.
boy, it was you know, Sully.
were at a
You
pizza
remember
place.
Sully?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Chuck Sullivan.
Chuck was he was a recruit from the Jersey area, and he played at YSU, and then he was, you know, on 100%er and got all involved with the Irish, and he opened that bar on 422, and it was nuts. And he did not stop at anything.
No,
And now I believe he has a bar down in Lebanon, Ohio, outside of
or Delaware.
Dayton or Cincinnati. Or no,
in Delaware.
and now he's back in Delaware.
yeah.
Close to his home.
Wilmington, Delaware. And it's like some kind of historic building.
That's right.
And I think
And
it's
like
like
George Washington slept there.
Thomas Jefferson slept there. And then he was telling me that
We were supposed to go down there and do
I
a
don't
show
get out of
there.
Youngstown too much. So
I know. Isn't
and
that
then
sick?
Sully was telling me that what's his name? The quarterback from YSU played for the Eagles.
Ron
Ron Jaworski. Jaws
Jaworski, that's
lives
it.
down there. And I guess Sully went and knocked on his door.
Oh, he did not.
Yes, he did. And was like, hey, Josh, you
I
know,
also played for
I played for
YSU.
YSU and everything. Why don't you come down to my pub or whatever?
So did he get his ass kicked, or did he get a
I
nice welcome?
think it was somewhere in between. It was somewhere in between. But
Jaws.
yeah, he showed up at Jaws' house.
There's Youngstown YSU people everywhere. Everywhere
I'm
you
not
go,
kidding you. 1 degree
somebody you
of
sit,
separation.
1 degree, no matter where you
1
go.
degree
Somebody's from
separation.
Youngstown or knows somebody from Youngstown or YSU. Or,
I'll go out of town. I always run into somebody.
I'll tell you, whenever I'm down in Clearwater, that seems to
Yeah.
be the place. If
So
you're on
Ohio
Clearwater Beach, it's just like everybody is
Yeah.
from Youngstown down
Yeah.
there. You'll run into somebody.
Everybody. Well, we all got to get out of this weather. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
hope
know,
it breaks soon.
I'm
I
dying
really
to
hope
go.
it breaks
I'm
soon.
dying to go.
I know.
Maybe
I
after
haven't
the
been.
I got a few weeks.
I haven't been
Yeah.
in
Few
warmth
weeks.
since summer. I need unnatural warmth. I need to go February, March.
Yeah. Now,
'Cause
I
this is
remember
getting crazy. I'm getting
at
cranky.
Sully's the one year, we had Jeff McFadden there, who was a kicker for the Eagles, and we had Jeff Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilkins.
Yeah.
Wilkins.
Jeff Wilkins, who actually kicked the winning field goal in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
for
The
the
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, I think it's the
And-
Rams.
And so they were out in front kicking Nerf footballs, and we had 422 blocked off.
over the power line.
Yeah, they were
Really?
kicking field goals over the power lines, and Jeff slipped on some gravel and went down,
Oh.
and we were standing there like,
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I
we
can't
really-
believe this. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
You know, and then the next thing you know, Tressel showed up, and you know, Tressel doesn't really show up
He
for these.
doesn't think that's that funny. His players are knocking
Was he still in the
themselves
NFL
out.
when he did that?
That's one thing on.
No, I don't think he was NFL yet.
No.
They were.
Or
playing
maybe he
shoot.
was. No, he was, because we were saying we have 2 NFL kickers
Oh,
down
okay.
here.
That's a scary
boy.
moment for the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Really?
so we're
Really
down
think
there.
about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, this was just like a sloppy drunk. And Tressel always kind of avoided our kind of stuff because it wasn't really,
Really his style.
yeah, it wasn't his bag, you know. and
No,
then
but
always
that was
said like
nice.
an
And he's
assistant
good.
coach
He
over
was
whatever.
good.
Assistant.
He was good to.
But
solid.
that's why he was. You know what? Because he sticks up for his players.
Yeah.
And if it meant him coming down there to support one of his players,
And he came
he would
early.
be there to do it.
He was there very early.
Yes. Yeah,
He
he was gone.
He was there daylight hours.
And then we had-
he left
Not at
before
night.
nightfall
Yes.
when the party started.
And then we had Chucky the leprechaun,
Yeah,
and
I
he
think
was
we're
a
doing-
midget, the small person, whatever you want to call
Yes.
it these days. But he
Little
embraced,
people.
you know what? He embraced being a midget tossing and everything.
I've seen that in a few bars before. It's pretty interesting to watch.
So he took that. He was, you know,
he was a professional, though.
Yeah.
He used to go on. He was like one of the reoccurring characters on the Jerry Springer show. When
That sounds
Jerry
about right.
had a Little People theme, he played whatever character
I think
they wanted.
There's a picture of Freddie and him and the Oaks
Yeah.
hanging up on the wall.
Yeah.
Jerry Springer and
Well,
Freddie.
Fred had a big idea for a storyline, and it got shot down.
Yeah, we were talking
unfortunately.
about. Well, they wanted to make it even more kinkier, and this woman that was involved in it didn't really want to go that far. And then when it got to something about her and Viking Jim getting it on, and he was dressed in a Smokey the Bear costume or
Yeah,
something,
it
we
was-
got so far out there.
And, yeah.
And then
Yeah, that
she
sounds a
kind of
little
pulled the
intense.
plug.
What was the name of that Fuzzies?
Yeah,
Those people-
Fuzzies.
Fuzzies that like to be in like the animal gear, like
I couldn't tell you.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's all- it's all-
he knows.
I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
I don't know what
Hey,
you're talking
don't go
about.
on Facebook.
I know.
There's
I
all
never.
kind of crazy stuff on
I have
that.
no clue you're talking about.
Facebook.
I never heard about any of that stuff.
I don't know.
Mom,
I'm
I
a
don't
good
know what
Catholic
they're
kid.
talking about.
I'm a good Catholic kid. I went to Catholic
Yes,
school.
that's right.
So we were going to go on Jerry Springer and.
Yeah.
But so getting back to Chucky, yeah, remember when they would always have it like Casey was saying, it would be like, I have something to tell you.
Oh.
And it would be like the guy would come out and it'd be this hot chick and they'd go, I got something to tell you and you just don't please me anymore. You're not a real man. You do
Gee.
nothing for me. And I
Fred
just
has this formula.
You got a
down.
whole scripted.
Fred knows this show.
Well, we used to do viewing parties when
Yeah.
he was on. So we'd go to the ice house in the middle of the day, and
And watch.
you know, he was like a celebrity and
He
he'd
was
sign
local
autographs.
celebrity. They paid for everything.
But yeah,
He
Yeah.
said the limo picked him up
He's
and
famous.
he got a hotel.
Another guy famous from
Yeah.
Youngstown.
We were talking about that. The guys from Turbo Lovers were here last week.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking a little bit about some of these same stories from Springer. And there was a bunch of people from Alliance that were on Springer as well. And they all lived in like this one trailer park and, you know.
And they
just
would
cast
come
them
up
all.
and they would just come up with like themes and,
Yeah.
and little
Yeah. And once they got in the
sitcom
groove,
like
but they would treat you first class. They would come with a limo, fly you there first class
For
accommodations,
them, they loved it.
ply you with as much booze as you could drink, even like right up until the cameras come on.
because then they knew it would be more fun.
Yeah, and then
Everybody was loosened up
It's
a little bit.
nightmare. Oh my
but then they
gosh.
said as soon as the show was over, they just pushed you out the back door and you were gone.
And you were gone. Find your own way out.
Back to the airport, they didn't even give you a ride
Yo,
back
they
there.
gave you a ride back to the airport.
Oh,
It was
but
like,
everything's cut off.
Yeah, see ya. Give
Here's
me
your
a limo.
ticket.
So get
Well,
back
they
to
made a lot of
Alliance,
money on that
you
show.
know.
Wow.
That was a huge, huge, huge show.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Huge show.
Yeah.
But, so anyways, we had Chucky on there, and well, that's what we called him, and he was the leprechaun, and a couple of drunk people beat him up down there. He got in a fight. The leprechaun got in a Donnybrook
Yeah.
on St. Patty's Day at Sully's.
Oh,
And you know what, though?
is he still around?
No, he passed away, unfortunately.
Shocking.
Yeah. You know what else? I saw this before, and the small people organizations warn them that around St. Patrick's Day, you have to be careful because people will screw with you.
I think I've heard that before,
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
I guess it's a
I've
true
heard that.
thing.
Well,
and they
if
issue
they
a true
think you're a
warning.
leprechaun.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they think you're a
I mean, they
leprechaun,
do.
and they
I've
screw
heard
with
that
you,
before.
and
I've
these people
definitely
get
heard
all
that
liquored
before.
up, and then they come out, you know, and hey, there's a leprechaun, you know,
Let's
we're
get
in
him.
lucky charms, and,
Let's
you know,
go.
and all
Well,
that stuff.
well, I guess that makes sense.
And they mess with them. And
I
it's-
know, but that's like, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
Well, I was just seeing one of the things that came up on my feed was that the guy who played E.T. was Ukrainian, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ursuline High School
Yeah.
grad.
yeah,
And he was, you know, the E.T. character.
yeah, Pat Beeline.
Pat Beeline,
Mhm.
that's right.
And
Yes.
he was from the West Side, and I knew him real well.
We went to well, he was St. Anne's, right?
Well, we started at Holy Trinity. What? Oh, that's what I'm looking for. That's us on delay. Yeah. He was. He was.
Novice.
He was. He was an altar boy at Holy Trinity.
Deputy sheriff. He worked for the sheriff's
Yeah.
department. I mean, you know.
He was a bouncer at the Orange
bouncer.
Room.
Yeah, the
When
Orange
Left End would
Room.
play there.
Left End, and there used to be a lot. Yeah. Remember the Orange Room? It was downstairs.
I think
Of
I've
the
ever heard of the
Wedgwood
Orange Room.
Lanes.
Oh.
I think
See,
that's
we're getting old.
a little before my time.
You know
I
what?
don't think I've ever heard of that.
You know what? We are getting old because
I
I
know.
was thinking about this the other day. I'm on the air.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I was talking about, you know, Left End or the Tomorrow Club or, you know, the Wizard and the 4 o'clock high. And then it dawned on me. If you remember this, you got to be about 60 years old
Uh-huh.
now.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
I mean,
I
it's
just heard
frightening.
stories.
It's
I heard stories.
yeah. My crazy uncle used to go down there. He still has a steel plate in his head. He fell out the fire escape trying to sneak in to see Brownsville Station, man.
I wasn't even thought of yet.
Oh my God!
And I'm sitting there and I was thinking that, and I'm going, boy, I talk about, you know what, on the podcast too here, we have some rules. There are several things that you have to mention on every single episode.
And what is it?
Well, Boots Bell.
Okay, Boots Bell.
You can't hear it, but I hit a harp every time you mention it.
You got it.
Kids can hear it.
Boots
Yes,
Bell.
indeedy doody daddy. Yes.
You got to mention Idora Park and Hot Day.
Okay, hot day.
It doesn't hurt to mention Boom Boom Mancini.
No.
and
Yeah.
Mix at some
Boom,
point.
boom. Yeah.
And you got to mention the Tomorrow Club
Tomorrow Club.
and
What
Left
else?
End. And if you don't mention Left End, if you do not mention all
And
of
then
those,
this is not Fred's
I think
show.
I know 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
And that's Boom Boom. That's
Yeah.
that's the only one I know.
The
yeah, see,
boomer.
that's what I mean. You know, it's like we're getting old. You know,
I know.
You know what? And I should have realized.
No, you're right. You're
I
right.
should have realized that years ago. I remember one year we did this Left End reunion, and we were at the Rib Burn Off at the mall.
Yeah.
And my daughter and all her friends were there, and they were
They
just
were
like seniors in
"Who
high school.
Oh, gee.
They were like seniors in high school or something. And I feel prouder than a peacock because I'm getting ready to introduce Left End at the Rib Burn Off. I'm thinking, oh, wait till my kids see me do this.
They have no clue.
And they were like, what was that?
Dad, why are you so excited
That
right
would
now?
have been like the era of the hair bands. What was Haley listen to? That would have been like my
whatever rap, you know, whatever
Rap.
top 40
Oh,
Jeez.
was.
Like I said, that's
You know,
before my time.
That's
still before my time.
1990 something. But yeah, and I thought, man, wait till my kids see me on stage with Dennis T. Menace, man.
Man, yeah.
Dennis T. Menace, baby.
Oh,
Left End,
man.
Bad Talking Lady, Cyclone Rider, Sunshine Girl.
Well, I just
Okay, rock and
reread
roll.
my
I'm lost
thing
over
with
here. I'm just
Captain
listening now. I have
See,
nothing to say.
you know what?
I
You're,
know.
you're just still backing up what I've been thinking, and I don't want to think that way, but you know.
Okay,
yeah,
so let's move into the
the 2000s, the
2000s,
2022s.
2000s might be a little
How
bit. I
about
got some 2000s.
2022? I mean, now you remember, Rudy is very much a part of my COVID history.
Yes. Yeah.
The last drink I had before I shut down, we were there when we witnessed the governor
Y'all.
shutting
Those are
everything
very-
down. We were all together
Yeah.
as
yeah.
a collective body.
And now we're
March,
back again.
I think it
It
was
was March
March
15th.
Was that
I think
15th?
17th. I think St. Pat's on a Tuesday that year.
Yeah. That's
Okay, and then we would have been there the Sunday before.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that should have been parade day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we
You're
were
right.
sitting there, and I spent the day there. I remember I had a very large tab.
I'm okay with that.
Because I think this is going to be the last tab we're going to have for a while.
Well, yeah, we only had 3 hours.
And then we had 3 hours.
3 hours to shut down everything.
Yeah.
Said by 9 o'clock it was.
And remember, the governor came on, and it was like 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sad
tonight.
day. I remember sitting there that night when everybody left, just thinking, "What am I going to do? What are we going to do? Not just me. What are we all going to do?
Well, there was no guidelines in place.
No,
and really, Rudy, you have a friend that works, or a relative, right? That kind of works in the state that was able to get you some of the, what the conditions and guidelines.
Yeah, he was working with that too. And actually now I'm a member of that. It's the Ohio Bar Owners Association for Ohio. I just got sworn in a couple weeks ago as the vice president.
He's big time stuff now.
Oh man!
Rude's a dude.
So what we do though is we help bar owners and restaurant owners in the state of Ohio. We help with passing the liquor to go, the refunds and things of that nature. So it's what we do is we kind of fight for bar owners and restaurant owners. And right now we're working on hopefully bringing sports gaming to bars and restaurants next year.
That is going to be huge.
We're working on that right now. And
that has always been one of my pet peeves about the way they have one casino. Why can't every bar have, like, you go there and play Keno, which you could never win? Why can't Magic Tree,
dude? The biggest gambling operator in the state of Ohio is the state of Ohio. Because of the lottery. Look at the proceeds spent on the lottery.
Lottery and alcohol. It's more than incomes for the state.
It's more than they're bringing in.
To do my part.
At Racino.
I do a small part on both of those myself. The lottery and the alcohol.
But I mean, why shouldn't every bar
have that same
be allowed to have some machines or something? Why should just one company be able to be a vacuum cleaner to suck all that money right out of your community?
It's going to be coming too. It's been in the works for a while right now. So there's a lot of guys down in Columbus. I was just down there a couple weeks ago, and we had some meetings. So it's the guys down there are working hard to get it going. So it's going to benefit.
I think there has to be equity with that. I think you're right.
It's going to go. It'll be in the sports arenas. It'll be, they're building the sports books in the casinos, and it'll trickle down into the bars and restaurants. So just give a little more time. It'll be here soon.
Yeah. Good. But that closing on that day was just horrific. I remember the whole week just calling other buddies of mine that are in the bar business in Cleveland, Columbus, Youngstown, everybody. The question was, what do we do? And, a lot of the guys that mentored me in the business, I'd call them and they're like, I don't know. Like, nobody knows what to do. So it was. How long was it before you were able to, at least start your carryout business?
I think we were closed for takeout and delivery for about 16 weeks. I believe 12, maybe 14 weeks we were.
So we were nothing.
Closed. No, we did delivery and pickup only, takeout. That's all we did. So like I said, I had roughly, I think, close to 60 employees. I laid off 52 employees, and I just kept my management team and me, and we wrote it out 7 days a week. We cooked, we opened, there'd be a time when we'd have the TV on, and we're just sitting at the bar waiting for the phone to ring. And if it was a cheeseburger, we'd make it. I'd jump in my truck, and I delivered it, no matter what it was. But, it was rough. We didn't know what to do. And, I mean, to think about it, we had all the food for St. Pat's ready. We had all the beer kegs ready for the outdoor party.
What did you do with that corned beef?
Well, we fed. We did a lot of donating. So we
should have bought one from you.
We fed the Ohio National Guards that were at the Second Harvest Food Bank every week. So we donated, I think, 50 dinners, 50 lunches every week to the Ohio National Guards there. We did a lot of donating with the Saney's Boardman, Saney's Youngstown, Inspiring Minds Youngstown. We fed 28 families and 100 kids with Inspiring Minds. I told the staff to take it. Take home whatever you want. Make sure your families are fed. If you guys want food, just say, hey, I'm taking 10 Reubens home. I did everything to keep supporting the staff and to help each other.
Because the grocery stores, it was spooky.
Oh yeah.
You'd go in and everyone's masked, everyone's wearing gloves, and there really isn't a whole lot going on. And remember, people were just like stocking up. You couldn't get a bag of rice. Oh yeah, the toilet paper issue, and then you couldn't find cleaning supplies. You couldn't find sanitizing.
It was bad.
And now you go into these stores and they're selling you a case for $1.
Yeah,
I was in Mark's. It was $1 for a case of jars of hand
That and the wipes.
sanitizer
I think it was the
wipes.
Clorox wipe was the first thing
Oh
to
my
go.
gosh.
The Clorox wipe was obsolete. You couldn't find.
Yeah.
Then I went just checking. You're on eBay and they're selling like the 75 packet roll for $48.99 on eBay.
I mean,
it's.
And it's so funny how it changed, and then all of a sudden it was something else. There just kept being another crisis.
Yeah.
There's the toilet paper. Okay, well, now we got toilet paper. Okay. Now, and you're limited. And then all of a sudden you can't find enough sanitizer. Then, now then it turned into the testing kits.
Back. And then the chicken wing crisis. And then just,
everything
it
was just.
Where do we stand on the chicken wing crisis?
Food right now is going up. A lot of things that are going up for me right now is plastics, my to-go boxes, to-go cups, silverware. A lot of the paper products are going up right now, plastic products. I mean, everything's going up. Ground beef's going up. Chicken's kind of been staying steady, but, the pork's going up. It's slowly increasing.
Because pork was the last thing to go. Pork, and I like
it's
pork.
Slowing,
I'm a fan.
It's starting to, a lot of places that I know, too, we've kind of just been kind of eating the costs a little bit, just to maintain. But I will say, though, the last couple of weeks, things have been getting a little bit better. We're starting to see some old faces return, more people. Friday and Saturday we were on a wait at the restaurant. So
yeah, that's really,
it's good. And it's just not me too, I still talk to a lot of other guys and they say the same thing. This past weekend, I guess, was packed everywhere. People were bouncing around. I came in, they said, hey, I was at this restaurant, or I was here, and it was an hour wait. So it's good to see that that's starting.
No, it is. I'm glad to see that. And I think as they would keep relaxing it on the news, masks are off in the schools, masks are off here and there. I think that just gives a comfort level.
And you're not seeing a lot of people getting sick. The numbers are way down.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't dropping dead. When that variant came around.
Oh my gosh!
All of a sudden,
I had it.
Which was that? The Delta, the Omicron?
I got it, and I was
I had it too.
vaxxed and boosted. I had a horrible head cold. Right, New Year's Eve, it started really kicking.
Yeah, I had mine too. About a little over a year ago. I closed for 10 days.
Yeah,
I had 9 employees in one day
he
test
was
positive.
down.
But I'll tell you, you got to give Rudy credit. I mean, his story. And hanging in there,
Rudy, and then we would touch base, and I'm like, "So what's happening now?" And he's like, "Okay, so here's what's happening now."
This is what I got.
We cut a commercial because we had to show that he was following all these guidelines, and the carry out and. Don't worry, we're safe, and safety protocols. And we would cut these commercials. Oh my! And then the message would change, and then it would loosen up. So then we'd write one that wasn't so restrictive. Now we're open for in-person dining.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're doing this, and
that's why. I mean, I am just praying for a huge St. Patrick's Day.
I love Rudy. I do. That one in 2020. I think was going to be landmark. I think it was going to really set the tone for the future. And then it was taken away from us.
Really did.
So I think 2022
it's going to be huge. I'm telling you.
Is going to be the year that's going to really, set the mark.
Yeah, I like to say this is a party that's really been 2 years in the making.
Yeah. Well, I've had
I feel like we've been planning it for 2 years. There's so much going on to get everything ready.
I
feel like it's been 2 years. I might need another year to get it going.
I've had my honorees from the parade on ice for 3 years.
Yeah.
Think about it. I've had them Bill Lawson and Judge Hunter and Kurt Hildebrand.
They want their awards.
They want the awards. At least I don't have to spend money on them. We changed the date.
Yeah.
But for 3 years, they've been our honorees. Finally. It's like, dear Lord, let these people walk down the street.
Yeah, this is more than like a St. Patrick's Day celebration. This is really like a victory party. For
I think
this is really the mark of the turnaround is here. We're heading in a new direction, and I think we're going to kick it in. Is what I think this is. I was on this. I think it's Irish Central, and it is based out of Ireland, but then it covers all the Irish American events. I went to New York, and of course, our parade's on there. There's right now 4 listed. I'm not sure what Akron's doing. Akron wasn't listed, but honest to God, there's 50. St. Patrick parades in New York State alone.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be.
It's insane.
It's even good to hear about Cleveland coming back.
Yes,
I lived in Cleveland for a while.
That's
that parade in Cleveland was huge when I lived there.
Great parade.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I've never been to the Pittsburgh one. I've been to the Chicago when they dyed the River Green in that. And I really like.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
It's
I heard
definitely on my bucket
Savannah
list.
has a good one.
But Youngstown's going to have the best one this year,
Yes.
I think. So
We got to dye the river green. We got to do something. I got to figure out how to just. But we're not near the river, are we? On
we got Mahoney
Street.
River down a little bit. We're a little bit downtown.
Do you think they'll let it? I was there in San Antonio. I used to live there. They dyed the San Antonio River green.
That was our boss, Dominic Barragona, who was like P.T. Barnum reincarnated.
So
he always wanted to dye the river. I think when he passed away, I think that was one of his failures in life.
And he's like, Casey,
dye with the Mahoney
I
River?
remember that. He said, get on that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was when they were trying to do, the casinos on the river. And they were looking at that place down by the B&O. So I remember calling like Savannah, Georgia. And I'm like, hey, calling from Youngstown, Ohio. What chemicals do you use in your river, that are safe? Because, and they're like hanging up. And then
leave us
I
alone.
called San Antonio.
Won't bother you.
And I said, hey, I know. Now, what do you guys put in there? Because it does dissipate. And it doesn't really stay in the sides.
Yeah.
And then I called Chicago. Well, they weren't hearing none of it. And Tom was like, what'd you find out, kiddo? Hey, kiddo, what are we going to go get? What are we going to put in? I said, they are not, and that was really before the internet was big.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't even know if you could find
always had this group of like people, these I don't want to call them flunkies, but they were like a bizarre bunch
disciples.
of people.
I would call them his disciples.
Or minions or whatever. Disciples is a good one. And they would always try to they would make this stuff happen through hillbilly ingenuity or whatever it would take. They would make all this crazy stuff happen. And I'm sure that they were concocting some kind of green dye.
Well, I saw the Chicago
Whatever it takes.
and they had like a motorboat. And the motorboat, there was like two of them.
They would go,
and they both went around in circles and mixed it. What they're putting out doesn't look like it'll be green. But then when it lands, have you been out there for that?
No, but I've seen it on videos. That's because that's on my bucket list. That's definitely on my bucket list.
But one of my husband's friends.
Hold on, hey, where's the Guinness here? Come on.
So tell him, Rudy, about how Crisis was averted.
Yeah, so
tell him about the Great Guinness scandal.
Yeah, the Great Guinness scandal. So
happy.
It's been there's been a small Guinness shortage. Glad to say it's back now.
Yeah,
but last couple of weeks it's been on and off. It's just getting the Guinness kegs, Guinness cans.
Well, this is all still made, I believe, in Ireland. They don't make this. They do have a brewery in the Maryland area around DC, but I don't believe it makes the stout.
I'm not sure what. I mean, it was even a couple months ago. You couldn't get Bud Light. You couldn't get Michelob. I mean, you couldn't get any beer.
May I have your glass?
Yeah, my pass the glass.
Yeah,
with the wine on it.
Now,
but it's here and it's back.
I am such a fan of Guinness.
I said this.
We did this at the meeting. We had a meeting a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
we're sitting there. We were talking about Guinness, and then it turned into, one. Then each everybody had two.
Well, this
three,
is very.
And then we got 4 Guinnesses.
It is low in alcohol. And it is also low in calories. And if you give birth to a baby in Ireland, you get this in the hospital because it is good for milk production.
Oh, really?
Just some fun facts from Casey.
I
just
will
want
say
everybody
this,
to know.
To get back to the, once we started on the Guinness roll when we had our meeting, perfect pours at the Magic Tree.
Yeah.
I mean, those, and you had the Guinness mugs or Guinness glasses.
Brewed in Ireland, St. James Gate. See, I think that's a problem too. The ships getting this stuff over here.
And it was a perfect pour. Which is really key to
I think our
Guinness.
meeting was at noon.
Yeah. And then you went off down to Thelma's.
Yeah, I went down to Thelma's. Sports snuck down there for dinner with some buddies and had drinks. Yeah, that turned into being an interesting night.
Yeah, I would say. I
kept partaking in a few more Guinness.
So, Rudy, let's get a good plug in here for Magic Tree. For people that haven't been there, why don't you talk about your menu? We'll talk a little bit about you, how you got into,
He's been in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been right now at Magic Tree now. We've had about 4 years. Magic Tree in October coming up will be there for 10 years. So
Yeah.
we've been there as a company for 10 years. Phil and Sandy, the previous owners, amazing people.
And how long have you been
Amazing
in
owners,
charge?
4 years now. And it's already went by like that. But
oh my gosh, time to
you know, we had to change our operations. You know, we used to do a lot of farm to table menus and things of that nature, but you know, a lot of the farms don't have the products or anything. And you know, not even that, just we were short staffed. We didn't have the prep to make a lot of things. You know, we made our burgers, we hand patted our burgers, we pressed them ourselves. Again, I used to have 10, 12 cooks. Now I have 5. You know, some of those things we had to cut back. But you know, like I said, we're there. We're mostly scratch made. You know, we try to keep everything fresh and local as we can. Of course, we can't do everything local and fresh. So we have a great food distributor, but, you know, we focus mostly on just sandwiches, burgers, wraps. We have a couple entrees.
And on the weekends, you really put out some nice,
we put out some plates on the weekends.
big specials.
You know, we're a dinner restaurant, family restaurant. We're more of, you know, we see a lot of families coming in, kids for their 4th and 5th birthdays, grandparents or parents, 50th anniversary type deals, things like that. You know, we have a great selection of craft beers, and we got a lot to offer. You know, so
you see all ages there, and I think that's really what's welcoming. It's like in Ireland, you know, the kids are in the pub, you know, and the old, you know, you got grandma in there, and you know everybody else, and I think you really do have a good atmosphere there. And then, you know, entertainment finally is kicking back.
Yeah,
in.
so soon, you know, the entertainment after St. Pat's here. I'm going to take a little break and go to Florida for a little bit, and then when I get back, I'm going to start booking for the summer.
We might have to meet up.
Hey, that's fine.
I want to head down there.
Your head down.
I got to.
Well, who's going to be in charge? Am I going to be in charge then if you two idiots are gone?
No, you got to come down there with us.
Just come with us. I leave March 19th.
So where are you going?
I'm heading down into Daytona, New Smyrna Beach area for a little bit.
That's fine.
He's got friends everywhere.
I got a lot of friends and family down in Florida, so I bought a one-way ticket. So I'm just going down. I don't know. I don't like to make plans. I don't want to say, hey, I got to be here Tuesday and do this. I'm just going to go with the flow. And, you know, 7 days later, I'm in Tampa for some reason. I'll just fly out from Tampa.
Yeah.
So I don't got to get back. So, you know, I usually travel when I go down there to see friends and family. I try to hit everybody at one time, but it's a little hard. So we're just going to go and relax. But, you know, when we get back, we're going to start booking the bands again every Friday and Saturday out on the patio. I got to get the patio up and ready, repainted, you know, TV's up and all that fun stuff. But, no, Magic Tree's been there, you know, and like I said, we're going on 10 years. So we're doing something right. You know, we're doing something right. And we've seen so much support from the community. I'm very thankful for, you know, being able to operate a business, especially a restaurant in this community. I mean, just tons of support. You know, my staff's amazing. You know, when they gave us the okay to call back your staff, you know, when they said call everybody back, we reached out to everybody. And I honestly think every single person came back. Nobody said, you know, I don't want to come back, or, you know, you get a few knuckleheads here and there, but it's, you know, it's the restaurant business. But, you know, I have a great team. I have a great management team. We have great employees, great regulars, great guests. It's just an all around fun experience. But
I think it is. The music's good, and the food's good. It is. I like
this. Our chicken tenders and our pretzels.
Oh my gosh! If I could live,
pretzels.
Those chicken tenders are the best.
Chicken tenders, pretzels, and our Cadillac sauce.
I love the Cadillac sauce. I could drink that stuff.
We actually had a guy in Denver call us and see if we can ship it to him. Our Cadillac sauce in pints. He stopped in one day, I guess, traveling through and wanted it, and then he called us and we shipped it out to him.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so it's the best.
So what about you know, I know you have a lot of craft beers and you guys are known for your beers. What are some things you're liking right now, or what are some cool things out there? Or tell us a little bit more about that.
You know, when it comes to beer wise, you know, there's a lot of great local breweries in the area too, and we try to keep them on tap as much as we can, and supporting them and helping out, you know, keeping local there. But, you know, the craft beer industry changes every day. You know, there's new breweries open up every day, a lot more. You know, 4 or 5 years ago, there was just a few breweries. Yeah. Now there's, you know, a ton in the area. So, you know, we still have to support everybody and make sure that, you know, we're supporting the local too. So, you know, we're just do it day by day. When things change, it changes, and we just take care of what we have to.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Hey, we got a couple people checking in here this afternoon. Mike Hogan, the Hogs, is checking in today. And he says, Sully was great times. And you guys are the best. He misses Sully. I think we all miss Sully.
I know. We should call him. You should interview him from the thing.
Oh, that
Can't
would
you
be
do
fun.
that?
Yeah. we
Why
could do
don't
that.
can't you FaceTime him or what do you guys do in this
With all this equipment here,
in this
there's gotta be
podcast
something.
world?
You know what? I got his number in my
And
phone.
put
Do you have
Rose,
his
and we'll
number?
put him right in the fire,
Yeah.
kind of like he'll be like the Wizard of Oz. Oh, the great horrible Oz.
I got some data for you. The green stuff that they put in Chicago is called fluorescent, and it takes 100 pounds of this powdered oil-based fluorescent, and it costs $695 for a 10-pound bag of it if you buy it between January and March. So it'll cost you around $7,000.
Well,
Something green.
You would need 10 of those.
You need 10 of those.
Wow.
But after, like, they might probably go on sale after March, and you could probably get it. For
You could hold on to it.
Yes.
And then how would and it's not damaging and it just
It's oil-based,
dissipates.
so it probably is very damaging.
And they don't care.
No.
Well, because the Mahoning River, they're saying now we're all clean.
There you
Maybe
we
it's
don't want to do that.
we don't want to do that. They're saying now that it
We'll put
would
the
be,
green in the beer. That's good.
they said
Yeah.
it's safe to eat.
We'll keep the green in the beer.
fish.
It's a lot cheaper
I
too.
don't even want.
Yeah.
Well,
Food
that's
is a little bit
interesting,
cheaper.
Joe. I guess nothing is alive in that Chicago River.
No, actually, I was there one time.
Did you take that boat tour?
It looks like fun.
I
This summer,
took it.
I am going to take
Did you?
it. Is it
okay.
fun?
It is fun because
Okay.
it shows you all the architecture. But here is a story.
Okay.
You want to hear this story? Now let me think. I can't remember
Okay, you think
the rock band. This group is going through, and on the couple of the bridges are
Dave
grids.
Matthews Band. It was
Was
a
it
Dave Matthews Band. Yeah.
And it's the grid bridge because I think it goes up and down, but at this time it didn't. And a boat was right underneath, and for some reason the tour bus hit the release on the waste valve, and the boat,
That
God.
doesn't sound like a good time.
all of the band's stuff
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
And they told that story when I was on the boat. And they're like, be careful now, that's not going to happen again. And I'm like, it was, everybody was
Yeah,
scared.
the one day I was walking down, on that
It's
little
it's
sidewalk,
really worth
that river walk,
Yeah.
and I'm right by one of those nice restaurants there and everything, and I'm sitting there and I'm having a beer, and there's these hillbillies fishing right there, and they were catching catfish left and right off the
And
thing.
eating them.
I had to call my son Tyler. I said, "You're not going to believe it." I said, "I'm down here in the Chicago River. These guys are pulling catfish out left and right." And
I don't
people are
know
trying
if
to
I'd
come
eat
by
them.
on bicycles and all this stuff, and these people are catching these dirty catfish.
Oh man, I don't think I could eat that. I'd be a little hesitant on the Mahoning, even though they say it's safe. And I see
never.
some people
Never.
getting stuff out of Glacier.
I was down
That
there.
kind of
No.
scares me.
Me and Ty were down in front of B&O Station one day, and there's
Yeah.
some guy down there
Fishing.
catching carp and catfish and keeping them and talking about how he eats them every day.
Oh,
I'm
hey.
sitting there going, "You're going to be glowing in the dark,
Yeah.
dude."
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
looked like he was about 80. He was probably
I
about
went on
25.
a kayak trip, and they were friends of the Mahoning River, and they said it is really getting clean,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd want to swim in it.
No.
No.
I wouldn't want to touch the muck on the bottom.
Mm-mm.
I've been on a boat and canoeing and stuff on Mahoning River.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
I went down. I
No,
started
you
the
did.
B&O.
I think
Yes,
I
I
had a
did.
nicer boat.
And I went all the way down. And you
I
know
had
what?
a nicer boat than
I don't think
you.
I've been on
I had a
Mahoning River.
kayak.
Kelby
It was a
Lake,
one-man
not Mahoning
kayak.
River.
Hey, yeah, McKelvey Lake.
That's, yeah.
There's, I
There's
want
a lot
to
of stuff below
I
there.
want to
Were
empty
you at
that
the Kelby
one.
Lake? Did you get out there?
Magnet fishing.
And Joe does that magnet
Oh, the
fishing.
magnet we
Wow.
put
Did you
on.
get anything?
Oh yeah, I found a gun, a
Gun?
receiver for a gun.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And and maybe if I wonder if you could pull up the dead bodies.
And the safes.
They were all filled with stuff. Have they ever drained that?
I believe they do every couple of years.
I think
I'd
they're going
love
to
to
actually
see
make it a public park up there now. I thought
Yeah, didn't the city just buy that or something like that?
And they bought. They put up some newer homes around there about 10,
Yeah.
15 years ago. I don't know, but boy, that's a storied past.
So, Rudy, tell us a little
Kelby
bit about your just your whole career. How'd you get into this? What made you? Get into
You know
it?
what? I was born and raised here. I grew up on the east side. After school, I started working at actually BW3's downtown. And that point on, I started in the kitchen and I just started building up, and I worked for a couple other local restaurants here, and I started as, a cook, and I went to a kitchen manager, and then a bartender, and a bar manager, and just kind of worked my way up. And then I worked for a company for a while, and I moved up to Cleveland for years, and I worked up there, and I came back, and I was lucky enough to start a Magic Tree. And I've been there now for 4 years.
Oh, that is really awesome.
I'm dying in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm sweating here.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. It's the fever pitch of the show that usually works.
I'm not used to the bright lights. It's usually sun, and I'm sleeping. I got a drink in my hand on the beach or something.
Yeah.
But no, now I've been in Magic Tree now for 4 years, and everything's going pretty well. So I bounced around and set around here locally, Cleveland, but everything's going very well now in Magic Tree.
Oh, that's good to hear. That is really good to hear. So, what were some of your favorite places to hang when you were in high school and afterwards? And what were some of your favorite places? And the favorite bands.
Downtown. I've never really gotten into bands too much, but just growing up, they used to have the Ernie McDougal's downtown.
Yeah.
What was the one across the street? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. The Ernie McDougal's downtown and Pal Joey's.
His fire is raging, though.
The fire is killing
my God, his fire! I'm ready to start taking off my
You guys aren't hot. I'm not used to these lights. You guys are used to the spotlight.
Well, especially Casey Malone. I mean, come on.
Well, come on.
But I like I said, growing up on the east side, I went to the Royal Oaks a lot. I hung out at Patsy's over there on the east side, and I still hang out at the Oaks to this day. They're good buddies of mine. But like I said, they had the Ernie McDougal's downtown, the Pal Joey's. What was across from Ernie McDougal's down there? They used to have Penny Draft Night, I think, on
Pogo,
Pogo's. Yes, Pogo's was down there.
Casey used to call herself the babysitter at the Pogo a Go-Go.
I snuck in there when I was in high school. Remember, it was 18.
When I was Ernie McDougal's. I used my YSU ID to get in.
There was 3-2 beer when we were still, so it was 18. And I would sneak in at 16 or something. And my father called me and he's like, yeah, you like those bars? Yeah. And there I was, sentenced to Pogos every Wednesday night for 5 years. Oh my gosh.
You're doing your crazy little contest. Your crazy little contest you used to do down there?
Oh, we used to do stupid human tricks.
Yeah.
And then I can't even remember.
That still goes on a lot of places.
But Johnny and Louis Kennedy, God love them, would come down for those crazy nights.
Yeah, they're good guys. I've had a lot of good nights at the Oaks.
A lot of fun. Oh,
my parents, my whole family grew up on the east side. So I used to go there with my grandfather and my father, and my grandfather cashed his paycheck there, and my dad.
Yep.
And they used to have pink ladies and hot dogs when we were little. And then, growing up on the east side, my whole family did. They would go to McGuffey Lanes and bowl, or, they would go to Lincoln Park Tavern. And, we would just kind of, you guys go sit over there. We're going to go over here. At that time,
there was that McGuffey Plaza at Hills. That was really happening.
There used to be a liquor store, a grocery store, Giant Eagle or something down there too, I believe.
I'm the answer to a trivia question.
No.
First woman to 10 bar at the Royal Oaks.
Oh, you know what? I've heard that before.
Yes.
I've heard that before.
Under the Domains, though. That was
Bobby Domain. Yeah, they grew up. They were neighbors with my dad. My dad and my dad's family growing up on the east side.
Over on Jacobs, yeah.
But it's I just kind of bounce around here and there, and like I said, it's just kind of all I know. I'll be 40 this year, and ever since I was 17, I'll be 40. I'm sorry.
Look at this guy, 40 years old, successful businessman. What were we doing here for? We were down at
You were just telling stories about it.
You guys,
I think you were introducing Left End to your kids.
You were introducing You guys were throwing.
Yeah, that's what I was, boy.
You guys were throwing what's his name around at that time.
Throwing Jackets.
You guys
we
were
were
throwing
Jackets and partying with Dennis T. Menace.
And look at us now.
And what am I doing now?
Here we
Pretty
are.
much basically
The
exact same thing.
And look at him going away.
Yeah.
One-way tickets to places.
No, listen,
answering to no one.
Listen, I tell you what, I answered a lot. I answer a lot of people. I get yelled at work every day. Again, it was a rough couple years for us, and like I said, we're getting through it now, and I've had a lot of great support from my staff.
Yeah.
It's all about supporting each other, supporting local. Not even me too, is that little South Avenue corridor right there. The guys from Acapazzo, even my buddy Melvin from Bogies, and Emma from Bruno Brothers, and Michael's over there at Albertine. We all helped each other during that time. We were changing food.
Yeah.
Like I was sending food to Bogies for his staff. He was sending food to me for my staff, just to make the monotony of sitting there every day and doing it. Acapazzo, same thing. Those guys.
Well, and you're all having the same problems, with the restaffing. A lot of people have, I don't know what they're doing, but for some reason they're not interested in, cooking anymore. Or,
there's a lot, it's for smaller businesses, we've lost to Amazon. A lot of people are going to make your own schedule. You can work every other weekend. Target, which I just see now, is like $22 an hour if you qualify.
And then full
1
benefits.
week paid vacation, full benefits, 401. It's hard for the smaller guys to compete with that. It's, I'm very hands-on as myself. I'm literally there every day. I still work in the kitchen. I open the kitchen on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I cook Thursdays, Fridays. I try to juggle between cooking and, doing management and things like that. But like I said, it's been rough, but it's good to see it upbeat. So that's why I'm getting ready for St. Pat's for the after parade. Then our huge party for St. Pat's also that we have going on too. So it's
let's not forget that.
Yeah,
let's talk about the good things.
Good times.
Yeah, good times.
For St. Pat's this year, we got the same thing, Fred. We got the big tent. Inside too, we have Seamus playing, County Mayo Irish Band. You'll be in there,
dude.
Out in the tent, I got the Pharrell Cats. They're the kids from the Purple Cat. They're going to be opening up. I got Old School out of Cleveland.
Viking Jim will be there.
Sure.
Will be in the house.
Who else do we got? The Mahoney Valley Pipe and Drums Band will be there. Mm-hmm. And then we got a big band as our headliner is out in the tent from 6 to 10. They're called the Low Kings. They're out of Pittsburgh.
They are great.
And they're a Celtic rock band out of Pittsburgh that are phenomenal. So
a lot of fun.
That's going to be it's going to be fun. Like I said, I feel like we've been planning this for 2 years. And it's really been 2 years. Just with all the permits and zoning and F2 permits and event permits, and it's just the tent going up. You got to watch the weather.
And how is the food truck coming? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, we have a food truck at Magic Tree, so we're going to try. I turned in the permits today for the licensing, and it's getting worked on, and we're praying that we're going to release the food truck on March 13th.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
There's been a few different places I've been at where they've had some things or whatever, and more than one person suggested that. Throw that food truck out there so somebody that's standing there that doesn't want to come in or whatever.
Exactly.
Just grab a sandwich, grab something.
And the big thing is, it's like a convenience for them. I don't want them to leave. Say, I can't get food. Let's go here. Now that they got.
And then you got the limited menu that's bang, bang, bang. You banging it out.
I just had a big meeting today. We're going to do Reubens, turkey Reubens, Reuben egg rolls, Reuben fries. We're going to incorporate a lot of corned beef and cabbage and everything. We're doing a small menu.
How much corned beef do you have to buy to get ready for this stuff?
I think right now today we bought close to 1,000 pounds of corned beef for the 2 events.
And then do you get the flat? What is that? Flat or the point? Like what is the different?
No, we get it. It's already braised. We boil it, we cook it, and then we slice it, and we weigh it out to everything. But it just kind of turns into more of a let's just get it done. It's just Reuben after Reuben because we only have 5 or 6 things on the menu, just for that limited menu, and you just make the same thing for 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
I think we sold, the last year or last big St. Pat's, and we didn't even have the tent. I think we sold almost 1,000 Reubens in the 2 days.
Jeez, that's
we were there.
Think about that.
And we had people that come in. Another big supporter of me is another local kid, Tim Crow, out of Crow's Cabinets out there. He's been a big supporter, a friend of mine my whole life. He comes, he feeds his whole staff Reubens from us every year. He buys, we make him some shepherd's pie and everything. So we go through corned beef. After St. Pat's, you're sick of it. You can't even touch corned beef. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to be around it. And then the sauerkraut, and listen, I love me some bangers and mash and corned beef, but after St. Pat's, it's been a good month to do without it.
My husband, the other night when we had our meeting, I brought him one to go, and he's like, I better get ready. And I'll tell you, it is good.
It is.
That marble rye, I don't know. Your bread, everything.
We have a Jewish rye that we get baked for us out of Cleveland.
I love it.
And I think the bread's the most important part of any sandwich in the world. You got to have good bread, no matter if it's fried bologna or if it's corned beef or if it's,
love me some fried bologna too.
Yeah, fried bologna. But, so again, we're getting ready, too, in the kitchen. Again, it's got a couple more meetings next week to knock out the beer and everything. I think all together with the two nonprofits and everything we're working with, I mean, we're ordering like 100 kegs and 150, 200 cases of beer. And God knows how much Jameson.
Well, I'm going to help drink some. I will do my part. I'll pitch in.
Well, that's, I'm going to do my share.
I'll do what I can do.
I'm going to do my
Just
I'm
a
not
little
going to
bit.
make any guarantees, but
Just a little bit. It's going to be a fun week. You know,
for the love of Rudy, for the love of Fred,
you know what else?
for the love of the day, you must enjoy.
You know what? I love the Irish car bombs. That is one of my favorites. Now, some people look forward to the corned beef.
Yeah.
But, the Irish car bomb to me
Those
is
are
just
pretty
like
good.
The perfect St. Patty's Day drink.
They are pretty good. Now
Those
I'm
are
thinking
pretty
about it.
those
I
are pretty
forgot all about those
powerful,
till right
though.
now.
You know.
Those are powerful.
So what do you put in that? A Guinness?
It's
It's
Jameson and Bailey's.
and
Half
Bailey's.
Jameson, half Bailey's.
And then
You
you
drop in
drop
some
it
Guinness.
into a pint of Guinness.
See, I honestly, I prefer Jameson alone. I like the taste
like
of
it.
Jameson.
Well, I see that too. And sometimes I think that people are saying, well, why are you desecrating Jameson?
I see that. And they put that. What's the
you
other
know
thing
what?
now? Pickle juice, the pickleback shot.
Oh,
Pickleback.
remember that?
Yeah.
That was
Those are,
that was the last day. Remember, my sister and that whole crew came in, and it was my
People love those picklebacks.
and then we start drinking.
My
them
neighbors
picklebacks,
love 'em.
and it was just like
I'm not a fan of them, but they do go down really
They do.
easy. Really.
And you know what? I have to think that the fermentation of the pickle juice does something good for your digestion. Because
No, it is
they
good.
say that kimchi
I
and all
think,
that stuff, the Korean food is very good for you.
well, in Ukraine they drink it like
Yeah.
regular, like you would drink.
Like sauerkraut juice
Yeah.
is supposed to be excellent for your
Yeah,
digestion.
that's good. I think there's like a bacteria in it.
Yeah,
It's supposed
That's
to be
good
good
for
for
you,
gut
yeah.
health. Gut health.
yeah.
Let's,
Well, after all the
now
corned
we're going to
beef
get
I'm
all
gonna eat,
healthy.
After all
Right.
the Rubens I'm going to eat
Yeah,
over the
it's
next,
good-
I think I'm going to be
you know,
okay.
It's good to know that when you come out and you're drinking picklebacks, it's good for you.
And you're eating some sauerkraut on your Reuben.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
walking around with a handful of sauerkraut and pickle juice. You don't even need anything else. A bowl full of sauerkraut, a little bit of cabbage and pickle juice.
That's
all good. All good. Yeah, that's funny. Now that is funny.
I'll tell you, I remember like when I really first started getting into St. Patrick's Day was hanging around with Casey because, of course, her dad
Oh my
was
God.
the king of St. Patrick's
He
Day.
was a professional.
I didn't. You know what? I really knew nothing
He was
about St.
100%.
Patrick's Day
Yeah.
until I get in with the Gilmartin family, the Casey Malone family. I get in with the Casey Malone family, and it's like, wow, these people are serious
crazy.
about this. This is, I thought
These
it was.
Ukrainians, man, they just didn't do it.
I thought it was you drink a green beer and what do you call those True Lures or whatever?
I call them the tour lures.
Tour Lures.
Tour lures.
So
Put
then all of
that
a sudden,
junk on.
next thing you know, that's when they had the parade downtown, and we were up in Hannah's office, and it was like a box seat looking out over the parade.
That was my dad. It went by my dad's office.
Yeah, your dad's
And I
office.
mooched in. His office wasn't on the main fairway.
And we're
You
all
had like
up
a
there.
loge. You had a loge.
Yeah.
across the parade.
And we're up there and
Oh, it
we're
was
just
fun.
partying and we are having the craziest time. And then, now I start getting involved with, you guys would party for like the whole week. It's the mass, it's this, it's that. Then you used to the Colonial used to
The
be a big
Colonial
spot.
House.
That was on Market
awesome.
Street too. That was that
Yeah.
white building on the left, right?
Yeah. Oh, what a sad place.
And it would just,
Now, when you drive by, it just
There's
breaks
nothing
your
up there.
heart.
and
Yeah.
then, it took my appreciation of St. Patty's Day to an entirely different level.
Yes.
And
Well,
then,
now they're all in the quiet Irish. A lot of those fun guys are just, my dad and all those guys would sing. And,
oh yeah.
they had so many traditions, and it's just sad.
Let's just hope it comes back now. I think this is
I
the time.
know.
It's a new beginning for St. Pat. So we gotta bring back all those old traditions and keep things back and remember them and get them started again. I think.
We do.
One of the funniest things I'll never forget, we're like driving through downtown and I see this guy and he's got a green derby on and he's got this green suit and this green bow tie and he looks as dapper as can be, but his face was beet red. You could tell this guy was drinking.
Well, that could
I go to Casey. I go, look at that. I said, there's a real red faced Irishman right there.
That could be any
And
night
she
downtown.
goes, "That's my dad."
You're like,
on the day. Or it had to be parade day.
Yeah, it was.
He only wore the derby on parade day.
Yeah, he was coming down by the Cedars there, right?
Oh.
And he was coming walking down the street. And we were still in the. I think we were still in the parade.
We
or
were in the
whatever.
wolf wagon.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh
man.
Lord.
well, we got to bring him back. I'm telling you, now's the
Yeah.
time. Like I said, it's a new beginning.
It
It's time to
is.
start fresh.
And I think, I hope a lot of the, kids realize, we're in our 44th year for the parade.
Wow.
So it's been around
He's older than me.
a long time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
You
sorry.
have to rub that in.
Yeah,
We'll ask you about that.
Yeah.
Did you say anything about how old anybody is or anything?
no,
Did you?
no, it has to bring it
That's all
up.
right.
Yeah.
Just,
You know,
What did that have
I
to do with
knew your
I'll
daddy.
be there
You're
Sunday.
happy,
Hey,
man.
maybe in 20 years I'll be sitting with you, or you'll be sitting here,
Yeah.
and then we'll be talking about the stories
He'll
again.
be changing his diapers.
Yeah.
He'll be down.
I'm glad you think.
He'll have a hot nurse with big boobs
And
pushing
just
him
sitting
around.
there.
Fred's gonna be down in Clearwater. You'll be down in Clearwater
And
by
sitting
then.
there with a big bowl of sauerkraut drinking
Yeah, pickle juice. This is what,
Just
Where-
this is what got
Jameson? Where's my pickle rack?
This is what got me here: sauerkraut and pickle juice. Now I see Fred down in Clearwater sitting on the beach, having a Mai Tai, relaxing.
And he's gonna have one of those 3-wheeler motorcycles. He's
What do
gonna
they
have like
call
a
those?
trike.
a trike.
Trike. He'll be on his trike.
No, I'll have one of those
'Cause he's
little.
gonna have a
I'll have one of those
balance issue.
powerized wheelchair carts that they
Oh,
make
the
it look
three-wheel
like a
wheelchair
little
cart.
motorcycle for Grandpa. And they put a little windshield on it, and they might paint it with some flames, and
Yeah.
they'll paint Harley
Put a
on
little
there.
exhaust on the back.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a 2-seater for your nurse.
got a
Oh
hog.
God, that's so funny.
I do love Clearwater, though.
Didn't
I
you
like
just
it.
take like a random trip or something down there for a
Yes.
drink?
Yes.
And you just like went for a drink and
Yes.
came back or something like
Yeah.
that?
How long were you on the road?
I went on the Amtrak,
Okay, how long did
Okay.
it take you?
30 hours.
Okay, it's a little
for a
longer.
drink.
Yeah, you know what? Well,
You went for a drink.
I had this when I was laid off, and I bought this ticket, and I was going to go see Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
And I said, I want to do that, and I said, I'm just going to get on this
Where'd you pick
Amtrak
it up? Pittsburgh.
Alliance.
Oh, Alliance.
Alliance.
Okay. 30 hours down there.
Yes.
Wow.
Let me get into this story. Let me get into this story. It
Oh,
might take
man.
30 hours to tell this story.
Yeah, I was reading. I think I
Long
followed
story,
you.
tolerable.
So, anyways, I had this ticket, and I was going to go see Jimmy Buffett for my birthday in Tampa, and the COVID hit and everything. So that the train was closed down. Buffett canceled.
Yeah.
And it took 2 years for them to finally reschedule this and everything. So I just went in December for my
Okay.
birthday. It happened to be on my birthday, so this worked out.
And
I
his
said,
birthday's what? Christmas
Yeah.
Day.
and I said, I'm getting on this train, and I'm just going to go down there, and I'm going to go see Jimmy Buffett. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to have a couple of mojitos at this place called the Sandbar.
Okay.
It's like the top sand beach bar in Clearwater. I said, I'm just going to go down there. I'm going to get liquored up. I'm going to jump back on the plane and
Get
come
liquored
back.
up.
And that's what I did. So
On the train or plane?
on the plane
Oh, so you trained down
and
and planed home. Okay.
Oh, no. This one, I just went down there to get a drink. That's right. I just went down there and got a drink and came back.
On the train.
Yeah, I went to Buffett on my birthday, but I flew down both ways.
Okay.
And so I get on the
This was
train.
a 60-hour train
For
ride.
one drink.
For one drink.
Well, I flew back.
Okay, both times.
Okay.
What was the
So-
flight? 2 hours?
So I get down to the train leaves Alliance at 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And so I wanted to get there early. So I go down there at midnight, and I said, I'm going to just sleep in the parking lot. And then when the train comes, I'll be here, and I'm not going to have to worry about it.
Yeah, because we know Fred likes to be early.
Yes.
Never. You want to talk about somebody who's a stickler
Yeah.
for,
It's almost
timeliness.
like an obsession with
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, anyways, I'm there, and I get there at midnight. Well, where you get the train in Alliance, it's like under this bridge, in the back of this rail yard.
Down by the river.
Yeah, it is. And it's in kind of a little rough looking neighborhood. And
Is there anybody working there?
No. And so this is what's really crazy about it, okay? So you get there and you park inside like the construction yard for the railroad.
Okay.
All right. Now, you probably have to walk a quarter of a mile from this little parking lot all the way down to this little pavilion. It's like an outdoor pavilion.
Just like
it's got a couple of benches, and it looks like something you would see at a park or like a restroom at a park. Okay, there's no windows in it or anything. It's just this building.
And that's the train station.
And that's the train station.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so I pull in the parking lot, and I'm sitting there. Next thing you know, I get a thing on my phone, and it says, the train is running 2 hours late.
Oh, no.
And it's not going to be here
till 5.
Now, I have to catch a connecting train in Washington, D.C. at like 3 o'clock. Now, this train was supposed to get there at 1, and this connecting train is supposed to leave Washington, D.C. at 3.
Wow, that's cutting it close.
Well, so then
probably not.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, that's like at the same time.
no.
It's like you jump on one right on the
So
other.
then this train's running late, and all of a sudden, this freight train comes. It's a coal train and just stops there at the station. And you could see the Amtrak like down the track. And these trains get all bunched up, so they sit there. And I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't want to sleep in the parking lot there because I'm thinking, I'm not falling asleep in this parking lot by myself. You know, what's going to happen here?
So then you saw the train coming.
You could see it down there, yeah.
Was it 2 hours late?
Oh, yeah, it was 2 hours late. So it gets there at like...
What did you do?
I sat in my car.
Oh! You couldn't even go and sit
No,
in
and
a
I didn't want to go
restaurant or a
home
bar.
because I'm sitting there thinking, okay,
You got to drive all the way back.
Yeah, by the time you get home, you're going to sit, get up and go back.
Yeah, or I'm going to fall asleep or
You
something.
need a friend in Alliance.
Yeah. So the next thing you know, okay, so the train gets there and you get on.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like the train stops and there's like about 5 other people there. And you just get on like you're getting on a bus and you get your seat. And then, you know, it starts rolling down towards Pittsburgh and everything. Well, now I'm thinking, I'm counting the hours that I have on the beach because it was like, I'm only going to be there for a couple of hours, you know?
Because you're going back by plane, and that plane will be on time.
Yeah. So I'm going down there. Well, I stayed with some friends the one night.
There you go.
So,
here's a sandbar.
you know, yeah. Oh, this is the best. This is at the Opal Resort.
Okay.
And this is the sandbar, and this is Clearwater Beach, and this is where you sit, and this is your view.
Wasn't that your drink? Isn't that a picture you took
Yeah,
of the drink?
you know what? Somebody else
What is
copied
in
my
there?
drink. I had one exactly like that. Only a mojito. They have the best mojitos.
I love
The
mojitos.
He took a
blueberry
train for
mojitos.
30 hours for one mojito.
Oh, so well, I had more than one. Let me tell you. So now I get on this train, and you're riding. And the train though is really fun. If you like that, if you just have nothing to do.
Was it a sleeping car and a berth and all that stuff?
No, those are a little expensive. I
And
just
then-
had a coach ticket.
Okay, and then what about like the dining area?
If you got the sleeping car,
Was it decent? I took one,
You know,
and I was very disappointed.
I've never been on one.
It was like if a bus
yeah, it is
had
a bus.
cafeteria.
Yeah, it's a bus.
It was
yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah.
stainless steel.
Yeah, well, yeah, this
and-
one for like us, hobos and
Yo,
coach.
I was a hobo and coach.
Yeah, you got
I
a little
took it from like DC
yeah,
to New
where
York.
they'd throw a hot dog in the microwave or
Yeah.
something. But
There is
they
a true
do sell
dining car.
beer and they do sell liquor.
Yes, they do.
And-
Yes, they
and-
do.
That would make a 30-hour trip good.
And plus, you bring them little bottles of
Airplane
Fireball
bottles.
and stuff. Yeah, you bring 10 or 12
Well, you're a
of those.
professional. Yeah.
Right. I'm from the south side of Youngstown. We don't go
they're
anywhere
taped
without a flask.
I know,
I mean,
exactly.
come on.
He's got a tape to his
Exactly.
chest.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
got-
yeah. Rudy knows when I come
Yeah.
down there. I
I'm
drink
not starting
I
your
drink a
party.
6-pack out in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Hey, pregame. You got a tailgate. You got a tailgate before the event.
I bitched that there's a $2 cover charge to see the band, and then I start a fight, and then I leave.
That's right.
It's the
And you
Youngstown.
steal, like, and steal a couple place settings of silverware.
Yeah,
exactly.
So then you're sitting there and you're
and
just
pint
riding
glass with a
along.
logo on it or something.
And you know what? The whole key to that is if you got a buzz going, that is the key. And you're just sitting there and you're just rolling.
So
down
did
the
you
track.
sleep at all?
Yeah, you could sleep, but people are getting on and off and that kind of stuff.
That's the thing. How many stops you think there was?
A lot.
I mean, that was really bad
so
English.
Now,
so there, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You need the express.
Yeah. They don't have the express
with the limited,
sometimes,
like 2 or 3. But when you're stopping,
I don't know if I can do that. I just wouldn't even go.
Sometimes when you go, So, anyways, I'm worried because I'm going to miss this train. So, that's another thing. So, while I'm sitting there waiting
at the coal train
at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to get through to Amtrak customer service. And I said, well, what am I going to do? They said, well, there's a second train that's leaving at 7 o'clock that night, and if you miss it, you'll have to take that one. And now, see, I'm thinking though, that's going to be 4 hours, and that's going to be 4 hours less beach time that I have. Because when I'm doing this though, because it's like I'm counting the hours.
Yeah,
I'm counting hours of being on the beach and sunlight and everything else because it's getting dark early. This is in December. It's getting dark at 5, 6.
Yeah.
So I had this all planned out by hour. Like, okay, you get there noon or so or 4, and I'll be on the beach until 6 or whatever it was. I had it all planned out. So anyways, we're going along, and then the train starts picking up some speed, and it looks like it's going to be on time.
Okay.
And then we get to Rockville, Maryland, almost to Washington, D.C., and the train just makes a complete stop, and it just sits there.
For how
long? Did they say anything to you? Why it stopped? Or just
other trains in front of it? See, that's the thing with the train. The passenger trains don't get to go. Like if they're down there and they're loading Lordstown cars in or something, you got to wait until they get done.
Yeah.
And it looked like we were going to make it. It looked like the train was going to get there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And
did you miss the train?
So get this.
Get this.
Listen to this. The train is pulling in as the other one is backing out. We got there at 3:08, and that train left at 3:02. They didn't hold it for 5 freaking minutes. So now,
geez,
and I got. Okay, I'm Joe Hillbilly on the train, right? Because I got a plastic bag that has my pillow and my blanket in it. I got my laptop. I got a backpack. I got my other bag with my
all your little
food
balls and your
I had
fireball airplane tape bottle.
and all this stuff. And so now I get there and they say, well, you got to wait for 4 hours at the train station.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't go anywhere. It would have been nice because you had nowhere to take your stuff.
Was that Union Station in D.C.?
And
during COVID, they probably don't let you use those lockers.
No, I had nothing. And so I had to sit there for 4 hours.
And that's a beautiful train station.
Fortunately, the cops were pretty good about keeping the derelicts moving along and stuff, because there were some doozies hanging out there.
That's 4 less hours on the beach.
And it was 4 less hours on the beach. And when you're talking, you only had 12 hours to be on the beach or whatever. 4 hours was a big chunk. It's a 30-year
trip.
I mean, wasn't there anybody else that was connecting? They didn't think about any of that?
No, there was other people on the train. There was other people on there that were doing the same thing.
That was
I don't know if I could.
So now I get on this other train, but the only difference with this other train is when it went down there, it only went to Orlando, and you had to take a bus from Orlando to Tampa, where the other train was going to go straight to Tampa. So now I get off this train.
It's like day 3 of travel.
Trains, and automobiles,
right? You know what? And I was going to film all this, but then it took the wind out of my sails because I was bummed, and I like riding the train, so I didn't want to make it seem like I was being a dick, and I didn't want to turn people off to riding the train. So, anyways, I get down there. I get down there, but
I'll never ride a train.
I wanted to go on this.
When I finally got to the sandbar, and I drank my first drink, and that sun was shining, and the blue sky.
There's no better feeling.
It was like, I should have had this because it was the moment of triumph. It was like the movie ends and the story is a success. It has a happy ending. I was there like, it was the best mojito I ever drank, and the weather was perfect. I'm like, yes, this is why I came here, you know? But it was pretty wild.
Bus.
I'll tell you, I'll give you a tip. A travel tip.
Give me a travel
Don't
tip.
take the train.
No, I like taking the train. I'm going to go to Chicago pretty soon. I like riding the train. I feel like
that's about a 12-hour trip.
7. It's pretty easy from Cleveland to Chicago.
Oh, you got to go Cleveland.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's pretty easy.
It's 6-hour flight.
And only if it's 3 hours late and then delayed.
Yeah,
and
but
it's 7 turns to 17.
You leave Cleveland at like 4, and you get to Chicago at about 10. And then the train that goes back from Chicago leaves on like Sunday at like 6, and then you get back at 1 in the morning or something. So you got 2 whole days really in Chicago.
Oh, well, then that's not bad. Whatever happened to those super buses or those buses?
Oh, they're out there. You know what? One day I'll tell you. One day I'll tell you my travel travel tips on the New York City Chinaman bus.
Did you take that?
Oh, a million times.
And you get into your Weathersfield?
Yeah. That is the quirkiest, weirdest thing you ever want to do in your life.
What is the cost?
$40.
Back then it was $40.
Yeah,
right?
$40. So it's $80 round trip.
There used to be those buses when I lived in Portland, Oregon, and it was, I think, called the Green Tortoise. And the Green Tortoise used to, it was like an old school bus, and they took out all the seats. And then, you know, they had sleeping bags and stuff. And it was painted. And, you know, it would be so much to go to San Francisco. And then it might stop in Bend, or it might stop on your way down. And then it would go to LA, and it would go all the way to, like, Mexico. And this Green Tortoise had like a serious, and we used to have all these crazy waitresses, you know, when I was in Oregon, and they'd be like, oh man, I'm Green Tortoising it this weekend. And then they'd meet all these dudes, and you know,
I couldn't do that.
That's my travel tip though. Oh, since you're talking about the Green Tortoise, if you like edibles, the train is for you.
Okay.
If you like edibles, the train is perfect for you.
Oh, boy.
You know, I'll just give you that travel tip.
Okay.
I'm struggling 3 hours in a car. I couldn't do the train. I would just cancel the whole trip.
Maybe if you were altered.
For people,
altered.
For people that do edibles, and the train starts going by,
I'm gonna need a lot of Jameson.
And things are going by like a blur.
I'm more. Now
I'm picturing that.
I have no tolerance for anything anymore.
Oh, and then like you stand. This one dude was on there, you know, and he's standing in between the cars. So when you stand in between the train cars, you can see the tracks and everything.
Yeah, because
and you can feel the train. You're like a hobo. It's probably the closest to being a hobo. So you know this dude's sitting in there, and he's smashed, right? He's stoned, and you can see the wheels of the train and the track underneath, and you can hear it going click, 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 and the cars are rocking back and forth, you know. And then all of a sudden, a freight train passes you going 70 miles an hour the other way, and it's like this far. It's like 3 feet away from you, and all of a sudden you just hear and it's just going, and then some of the cars will squeak and stuff, and this dude's like holding on in there like,
and
dude,
it's like, oh, what a rush.
Yeah, that's
and then you look down and the wheels are spinning and you see the railroad ties.
Who was this dude? Was it you, or did you actually observe somebody?
I was thinking the same thing. That's going to be one of my questions.
I give myself away.
I was picturing Freddie.
I mean, standing there.
This was such in detail that I kind of figured that it was like,
I'm an observer of people.
Yes,
it's like, you know, I heard this happen.
You were just,
I'm
told this happens. I heard it does.
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't, huh? Oh man, but anyways, that's the Amtrak secret.
Yeah,
Well,
but you know, I don't know. Hey, you know what? Are we ready to wrap this up? I still got to do my interview. I got an interview here I got to play today.
well, then let's go. We're done.
You know what?
Hey,
you know what?
we're
I'm going to
done.
interview Devin Allman. You going to the Devin Allman show?
Well, he's not
Saturday.
coming, I thought.
Yeah, he's coming.
They told me he wasn't going to be there.
No, he's going to be there. It was the Allman Betts band,
Oh.
but I guess they're on some kind of hiatus or something.
So it's just Devin, but the Betts kid isn't going to be there?
No.
Mm.
That was one of the last shows I saw before the pandemic. Me and Cornell, we went to see the Allman Betts band in
This is up at things, right?
Robbins Theater.
Robbins.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah.
What a nice place,
It's
huh?
really nice. I interviewed Kenny Haderas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys got these bands I've never heard of.
Good times.
Well, this is Allman, Devon Allman. You heard the Allman brothers. Allman brothers.
Yeah. We had. I asked him like.
Don't ask him.
Go down. I had just like these funny scenarios in my head, even like about you. And, hey, let me ask you a question here.
Uh-oh. Have you ever experienced this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you ever stood on the back of a train?
Yeah. Have you ever stood on that? Well, let me see. I heard. You look down. You're going to see the train.
You look down and eat edibles.
and then the sky looked like a rainbow. You know? Did you ever get that? Did you ever? You know, like
And it
like
was
Skittles?
Who's Devin
It
playing
was dark
with?
outside.
He's got it. Oh, he's got a couple of people, and Samantha Fish is opening the show.
I like Samantha Fish.
Yeah, so it's.
Are you going with Cornell?
No, I'm just
Are
going.
you going?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna be there. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I might be there.
Yeah.
Might get tickets. I'm sure it's one sold out.
No, but what else they got coming down there? They got that tribute to Michael Stanley.
I know
coming
Chrissy's going with all of her weirdo high school friends.
up.
She's like, do they have booze there?
Yeah,
She
now.
goes, do they have booze there? I go, yes, they got a full bar there.
Yes, they do.
I know.
Yeah,
I
no.
assured
Yeah,
her.
what do you
Chrissy
think?
doesn't
No.
travel.
Yeah.
I like their full bar.
And I want to know for sure. I'm not going to
Yeah.
take your word for it. Now, you're really sure
And she goes,
about
are you
that?
sure? Wait till I tell her there's a full bar at the Gold Star Theater. She might start going to movies. I mean, isn't that crazy?
Let me start playing the interview.
Yeah, well, let me thank everybody for coming. Casey
Yeah, thank
Malone
you,
already
Fred.
just got up and walked out. So thank you, Casey Malone. You know, did a mic drop there. I got my own
Well, she left the wine and the Guinness, so we'll be all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as we got some wine and we got the Guinness. But anyways, once again, Rudy, thanks for
No
stopping
problem.
by.
Thank you for having me.
People, please sponsor, the Magic Tree. Stop by and support these guys. Great bunch of people. And of course, we have the after St. Patty's Day party
Yeah.
coming up. We have St. Patrick's Day itself. Rudy, one more time before we wrap it all up, run down all this stuff that we got going on because you guys party for the whole week.
yeah,
You do it Casey
just,
Malone style. You do it the real way.
Yeah, just starting on the
I was
13th.
cleaning up.
Just starting on the 13th after the Mahoney Valley St. Patrick's Day Parade. The after party is back at Magic Tree. We have No Funk, No Justice outside in the 10 at 3. RDNA inside at 4. We're going to have the food truck for Magic Tree up. Hopefully it's going to be ready. We'll have beer, Penguin City, Jameson in the tent, heated lights. And then during the week, we're going to have different breweries coming in, giving out samples. If you go, again, follow us on our Facebook. And then St. Pat's Day, we kick off the tent outside. 11 to 12's the Pharrell Cats from the Purple Cat, the kids from the Purple Cat. Then we have Old School from 1 to 4, Steel Valley Drums. Then we got Freddie coming up, and the Low Kings from 6 to 10 outside. Inside, Seamus 12 to 3, and the County Mayo Irish Band from 4 to 11. Irish foods, green beer. We're gonna go big again. We're gonna do it right this year.
And remember, cabbage and picklebacks, are healthy for
sauerkraut
you.
and pickle
It's
juice.
good for you,
Yep, it's good for you, and
And,
it tastes good.
and it tastes
We'll
really
put
good.
the pickle juice on tap. We can just pour it on the sauerkraut. So
So, what about you, Casey? What are you looking forward to? What is your favorite part of St. Patrick's?
My favorite part of St. Patrick's Day is now the parade. It has eaten up all of my stuff. I really lose my mojo by the time the 17th
where am
rolls
I at in
around.
the parade?
Yeah, we are. And so that, but no, it's the parade is really my favorite thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it kicks off at 1:00 on Sunday, March 13th, on Market Street in Boardman, and it goes from McClurg Road all the way down to Southwoods. And I've got a new name for the parade route, and now we're going to start calling it the Emerald Mile.
Oh, wow.
You
Now,
like it?
this is why she is the queen of all media. The Emerald Mile.
You like it?
Oh, I love it.
Yep. I came up with it today.
Awesome. Give me
We're
some.
going to break it out.
man.
I know. So the Emerald Mile. Yeah. So that will be. So if you'd like to see the Emerald Mile, please join us on the 13th. And then right afterwards, man,
Boom,
make a
magic
beeline
tree.
to the tree.
All right, so we're going to be spending some time together, us three.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
This
we're
is
going to
just
spend
a
a
little
lot of time
warm-up.
together the next couple weeks.
How do you
Yeah,
like
it's,
me? How do you like me now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, here she comes.
I know.
Oh, no.
I just missed him. Last week I was over at Sadie's and I just missed him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I would like to have been drinking with you, Rudy. Wow, you're going to get your chance.
I had a
Hey, we got to give a shout out to your cousin Jimmy, too.
Oh, my Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim.
My Uncle
man,
Jim's
what
a big
character.
fan of yours. He goes to everybody. He loves his bike.
Jimmy, you, Rudy? Is
No,
it
no, his
Rudy?
name's Hollowball. He he loves his bikes.
Yeah,
He
we
goes,
we always have a good time.
Yeah, he's already texted me. When's
And that
Freddie there?
bastard-
When's Freddie going to be there? When's going to be there?
That bastard always buys me a shot.
Yeah, he does.
He's
He
a
always
good-
Here's your
I
pickleback. Here's your
I'm going to
pickleback.
order pickleback next
That's right.
time
Yeah,
I see
usually
him.
if there's a bike night and Freddie's there, my uncle's somewhere in the
Uncle's
vicinity.
there.
He's somewhere.
Oh, yeah, or he's down at the Oaks or
Yeah.
over at your place.
Yeah.
I like
he's
the
at the Oaks or my
Oh,
place.
and the Ribs to Die For. Hearse is going to be. It's
Yeah, we're
already
going to
in the
try
parade.
to. I talked to JFK.
Yeah.
We're going to try to put the hearse
JFK
right in front of
wants
Magic Tree.
A very special parking
Yeah, he
place.
wants a spot.
Yeah. You know what? Nothing big. It only needs 3
Yeah.
parking spaces on like
If it
one of your
makes it.
busiest days.
If it makes it.
I know. Is it running?
Now here
it's
we
been
go.
parked.
Now I'm feeling Jaeger.
You
for
know,
St.
Ooh,
Patty's Day.
ooh, I can't.
It's a green bottle.
That is-
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's when I talked to Jesus, and I don't.
I
like
know
talking
we
to
were a
Jesus.
couple years ago, the last parade, we were shotgunning some PBRs in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, he's a PBR.
Oh boy, here's what we got to look
Yeah,
forward
so
to,
it's
folks.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. So yeah, it's going to be a fun
Louis
week.
will have his little utility killed on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just nothing but fun. Nothing but
Oh man. I am so looking forward to
Me
it.
too.
So I really am.
fun. Me too.
Everybody, come on out. It's been 2 years in the
I make
making.
no plans for Monday the 14th,
And,
and now I can't make any plans for the 18th. I mean, I can
Yeah.
tell you, it's a whole.
why don't we
the
go?
last week.
Why don't we go join Rudy in Florida somewhere?
Hey, come on.
You know
19th, I
what?
believe.
I'm not going by trade. I'll tell you that. Hey,
I'll be
there's
in
that
Daytona.
new-
That's another one of your
Yeah,
hangouts
you're
down there.
going
We'll
by
be right on Main
Easy.
Street down in Daytona. Bar
Yeah.
hopping down there. So
Love it. Love it.
yeah,
love
that's
it, love
what
it.
the Welcome to Daytona sign's
Yep.
right there. It's Main Street's right here, and we're good to go. So
Yep.
it's a fun time.
All right, guys. Well,
Thanks,
listen.
Fred.
Hey, you know what? Let's do a toast to Casey's dad. And
That's
whenever
right.
I think
The guy walking down the street with the red
That's
face.
we always call it Daddy's holiday. We
That's
always
right.
joke with Casey and call it Daddy's holiday.
My dad's
And
favorite
Vince,
day.
we love you, and
I
we're
miss you,
always thinking
Daddy.
about you on St. Patty's Day.
That's
There's no
right.
two ways about it. All right, guys, you know the plan. So we're going to do my interview with Devin Allman. He's coming to Robbins Theater in downtown Warren Saturday night.
On the 12th.
No, this week.
I mean,
Tomorrow. Day
no,
after.
that is the day
5th.
after the 5th. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
The 5th.
I'm all mixed
Yeah,
up.
I don't know.
I'm all mixed
I just
up.
wake up in St. Pat's, go to
I
bed.
know.
Wake up St. Pat's. Go
I
to
just keep looking at the weather.
There we go. All right, guys. Thanks.
bed.
As
All right,
always,
thank
good
you.
to
I
see
appreciate
you.
it.
All right, Casey.
My
I
friend.
hope my liver's good and green by St.
Yeah.
Patty's Day.
Don't worry. Just don't donate it.
Bye, bye.
Nobody wants it.
And watch the Casey Malone show,
Yeah.
too. You know what? Before you go, see, after we have a couple of drinks, then we just keep babbling. I got, Joe wants to get the hell out of here.
I
He's
know,
looking at his
Joe's like,
watch.
"Come on,
and he
man,
goes, they
5 o'clock."
still want to go. Plug your show, because I'll tell you what,
I'll sit back down.
your show is
Joe's
unbelievable.
like, come on, guys.
Yes.
You
A lot of people like it. And I'm going to tell you, though, what I'd like to do, Fast Freddie, is this Thursday, come down and let's talk pierogies
okay.
with your Ukrainian brothers and sisters.
You know
I
what?
think it would be really a good time
Awesome.
to visit
Yes.
my Ukrainian peeps.
Why don't you come down?
And, I don't want to be morose or anything, but
Yeah.
I know we've got strong like bull people down there
Yes, we
at
do.
St.
Yes, we do.
or at Holy Trinity, rather.
It has been really
And,
tough on us
yeah.
because, a lot of us all have, friends or that
I know.
have family that are living there. And,
Yes.
and it's been tough
It's really
on all of
upsetting.
us.
It is very upsetting. And
But I'll tell you what,
Let's
would
do it
be
this
amazed.
Thursday.
You would be amazed at how popular you are in the Ukrainian community.
Well,
The last time I was on your show a couple
when
weeks
we're
ago with
fishing.
the fish fry,
Yeah.
I had so many people come up to me, every single parishioner there come up to me and complimented me like, you were on the Casey Malone. They go, hey, and they start asking questions about Casey, and they're asking me about the recipes and all these people, and I'm just going, it's like, okay, I've only been on the radio for 40 years now, and whatever.
I must tell you,
I hit the Casey Malone show. It was like,
same with me.
Oh, you
it's
did
a
so great on there. Hey, we saw you on TV. Hey, you were on there with Casey.
Well, see, Rudy can't get away with anything either.
So I've done it for a couple of years now. Week. About 3 years ago,
and now it's
Casey
just the
came out
dude.
and said "Rude the dude" on one of the shows. I looked at her, and now I go out and people are like, "You're Rude the dude. You're Rude the dude." And even funny, so the one night I was at the Oaks and we're sitting at the bar having a couple of drinks.
It is amazing.
I happen to look up and didn't even know it was on. I look up and I'm on TV. The whole bar's like,
hey, it is funny. It is weird.
I mean, the popularity of that show.
Well, it is. It's a good time slot.
I find it kind of baffling myself. I'm not really sure what people
I think I should have done it in reverse. I wish I would have done it like TV first, radio second.
Right.
I'm getting old, fat now, but no, it is. But I would like to, I did that a long time ago, but I think it's time for a revisit. And I really, they are the best pierogies.
Real time too.
It's a good time too.
Yes.
And get your brothers in my parade.
Town, and I'm not bragging.
I know.
They really are.
I always look and I see. So let's arrange that. We'll talk about that later.
Awesome.
But watch my show every Saturday at 7:00 on WFMJ, right after the national news, right before the lottery show, and then Sunday at 7 a.m. on WBCB. And I'm telling you,
all the cool kids are watching.
All the cool kids.
Yes, they are.
Hey, don't be a loser. Don't be a chicken. Watch the show. And no, it really is. It really is. We got some great viewers out there. And every week, we have some new interesting places. I got a real interesting place this weekend. So
all right, let's get this Devin Allman interview on.
Hey, man, you got Casey Malone here. What the hell you need to talk to Devin Allman for?
I know. I feel bad.
You gotta give him
I feel bad. We made Greg Allman's son wait until the last 10 minutes.
Sorry, Devin. Hey, let's do that, though.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Casey Malone.
Yeah.
We always have so much fun together.
Freddie,
here. Hey, what's up? Fast Freddie here. This time, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to it, man.
Well, a lot of people realize that your fan base in the Youngstown area continues to grow. Now, I have been a fan, and we have been a supporter of yours from day one. We go back to the days of your band, the Honey Tribe, and you were playing at places like Michael O'Malley's on the west side of Youngstown and at the B&O station. And hey, what's up? Fast Freddie here. Hey, what's up? Fast Freddie here. This time around on the Fast Freddie Rocks Youngstown podcast, my guest is musician Devin Allman. Now, Devin is the son of Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers Band, and Greg and Devin's mom split up when he was very young, and he went on to live in Kansas City. He lived in Cleveland, and he went on to forge his own musical path, his own musical career, and later in life, him and Greg got back together. They played some music together, and they really formed a special bond after that. But anyways, Devin is out on tour. He's got a new album coming up. He's got a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to talk to him about that this evening. Y103, Youngstown's classic rock. Fast Freddie here. Boy, do we have a great show coming to the Robbins Theater in downtown Warren on March 5th. It is Devin Allman and Samantha Fish. Now, I'll tell you what, if you like that bluesy kind of sound, this is going to be the show for you. And with me right now is Devin Allman. Devin, good to have you back in town, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to it, man.
Well, you know, a lot of people realize that your fan base in the Youngstown area continues to grow. Now, I have been a fan and we have been a supporter of yours from day one. You know, we go back to the days of your band, the Honey Tribe, and you were playing at places like Michael O'Malley's on the west side of Youngstown and at the B&O station. And you have gained quite a following here in the Youngstown area.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I lived some life in Cleveland, Ohio, and in my younger years, and you know, got to go to Browns games and see all my heavy metal concerts at Richfield Coliseum in Cleveland, and so there's definitely some ties there, and it's been cool. You know, it's been cool to be able to upgrade the venues, and you know, now we do a lot of big festivals around the world and theaters, and just really blessed to have, you know, kind of made that arc over the last 20 years from playing, you know, the little dive bars, which were really fun to play too, you know, honestly. So we're stoked to come back. I think we have 3 nights in Ohio. We're doing Warren and we're doing Kent, and we're doing Cincinnati. So it'll be great.
Yeah, nice little homecoming for you. Now, I got to tell you, I've really been digging, following your career and just seeing how you're just growing from one step to the next. Now, the last 2 shows I saw you down at the Tampa or the Clearwater Blues Festival. And I'll tell you what, to see you guys on that big stage with that full production, I was very impressed, and I thought that night you guys sounded really great.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it's with anything. What do they say? When you put in 10,000 hours, you become a, you know, that's how many hours a pilot or a doctor or whatever, you become kind of a, you know, kind of a master at your craft. And so once you kind of put in that time, and then you add a really great team, and really great lights and really great sound and a great setting, you know, it's kind of like the sky's the limit. And we're really lucky, man. We've come a long way, you know, and it's, you know, it's just it's an amazing thing to wake up and do a sound check and be like, man, we get to make music in here tonight for these great folks, you know, and literally living the dream. Really lucky, man. And I appreciate you saying that, because you saw us when we were playing to 40 people.
And then another good show, actually the last show that I saw before everything went downhill, before we came back, was the one you did at the House of Blues in Cleveland. And I thought you guys were phenomenal that night too, man. I thought you guys were right on the money that night.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, that was a good run. I remember that was, you know, where it started to kind of feel like it's, you know, a return to some semblance of normalcy.
Right. Now, for people that aren't really familiar with your sound or familiar with your music, tell us a little bit about it. Explain it a little bit. You know, what is Devon Allman all about?
Oh man, I mean that's let me try to condense that. I don't know. I think my music's kind of, you know, I don't know. I guess it stayed in a similar genre. I mean, it's kind of Americana meets rock meets blues, you know. So if you like, you know, any of that, you know, the jam band stuff, the, you know, blues, the classic rock. I mean, that's you know, I kind of combine all of those, you know, those ingredients to do my thing, you know. And I change my thing up every few years. You know, I tend to, you know, kind of get itching to try something else or be in different bands or have different formats. So that's why if you look through my discography, you know, every 2-3 records, I shake it up.
Well, that's the way to do it too, to keep it fresh and to keep it new. And, you know, I could say that about your shows. I remember the one show. Yeah. I mean, you know, you were doing everything from like some Allman Brothers. I think you're doing a little bit of Dead to cover that jam band thing. And then I remember the one show you did, Everybody Wants to Change the World. And I thought you guys did an awesome job on that one.
Oh, everybody wants to rule the world.
Rule the world. Yeah.
Tears for Fears song.
Yeah.
Used to cover that. Love Tears for Fears. They actually just dropped a record on Friday. It's the first Tears for Fears record in, I can't remember if it's 7 years or 17. It's a really long drought between records, but it's pretty cool.
And so what are you guys working on now? I know you had the Almond Bets project going on, and now it seems like you guys are on a hiatus. So where are you heading in right now? What's the scoop?
I go into Criteria Studios in Miami in April to make my next solo record, and Criteria's, a really special kind of place for me. So I go into the studio in Criteria Studios in Miami, April 13th to make my next solo record. I'm really excited. It's kind of a funk record, really feel-based, really kind of, strong message of hope. The record's called You Gotta Make It Through the World. And I think June will be the first single, and July we'll drop the record.
Now, that's pretty cool. Now, you're recording in a historic recording studio there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the studio, what it means to you, and what does it mean as an artist to be recording in a place like that?
Well, I went down there and, took the tour and checked out all their gear and, put a deposit down and just soaked up the mojo. For those that don't know, Criteria Studios in Miami is where the Allman Brothers recorded Eat a Peach 50 years ago. It's also where Derek and the Dominoes did the Layla record, the Clapton Layla record. It's also where a good portion of Fleetwood Mac Rumors was made. And, as we all know, that record, I want to say second best-selling record of all time, only to Michael Jackson's Thriller. I think it sold 44 million units. So Criteria is it's one of those classic places. I have wanted to do a record there my entire career. It's an amazing room with amazing vibe and history. And I've put together some friends and some heroes to be the band, the backing band for the record. Not going to name names yet, but it'll come out soon. Just really excited, man. It's really an opportunity. I really want to make that really kind of career defining record,
Well, that would be the place to do it. I could imagine walking into that studio. It would probably almost make the hair stand on your arms when you walk into this room and realize the talent and the creativity that went down in this space.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a feeling. There's a feeling when you walk in it, for sure. There's no doubt.
Now, you mentioned that Layla was recorded there, of course, with your Uncle Dwayne and Eric Clapton. And I read somewhere where you said that Layla was one of those songs that really defined you musically, that really influenced you musically. So for you to be in that studio like that has got to be cool. Yeah.
The album as a whole was definitely, it's one of my favorite all-time records. It just kind of feels like home, kind of the great equalizer. You put that record on, you just feel good. It's incredible. I mean, Eric Clapton was making Layla at the time with Tommy Dowd, legendary producer Tommy Dowd, who no longer with us, but he produced Aretha Franklin, he produced the Allman Brothers, and he produced a lot of the Clapton records in the 70s. So Clapton was in there making Layla, and he heard the Allman Brothers were playing in town in Miami. So, he left early and went and watched the concert, and then asked Dwayne to do some jamming on the record. Dwayne Allman ended up playing on most of the record, like 80% of the record. So, it's one of those kind of landmark, instances where, two worlds collide, and that's the magic of that record. Hearing them play off each other is just phenomenal, and the other musicians on that record. So to be at ground zero of where that happened is insane. It's really, really cool, because we live in a time where you can walk down in your basement and make a really great sounding record.
Right.
But there's nothing so special about that. There's no story there, and I really want that story to be back in the process of making a record. With Allman Bets Band, we went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and we
legendary.
Yeah, I mean, we recorded our album. We recorded Pale Horse Rider in the room where Mick and Keith recorded Wild Horses and Brown Sugar. And I mean that, or Bob Seger's Old Time Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable what was done in those, in that place as well. So just to have the ability to go into these historic places. Thank God they're still standing, they're still operating, they're still vital. And to be able to go in there and make music where our heroes made music is, I mean, it's mind blowing, man.
Oh, it really is. And there's just that vibe, that mojo, that magic that you talk about. You walk in that room, it's like, man alive, Mick Jagger was right in here. And I just love the stories about all the different legendary recording studios. I think that it's just so fantastic with the studio musicians and the engineers and the room and the space and how they set it up and everything. It's just like you say, it's not like it's something in somebody's cellar. This is a special place. It's almost like a temple. It's almost like sacred ground, you know?
Yes, absolutely, man. It really is. And, you know, we're just, we're really lucky. You know, we're really lucky. I mean, 15 years ago, we were a bar band playing in bars to 40 people, $5 ticket. And we were going city to city, calling that a tour, which I guess it was. We were in a van. We were eating the two for $1 Jack in the Box tacos. We were sleeping on fans' couches instead of hotel rooms, or if we'd get a hotel room, all four of us would stay in the same room. And you know, what's crazy is we didn't do that to try and become like, you know, famous or rock stars. We did that because we just wanted to play music from city to city, night after night. And through the years, it just, you know, it grew a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, you know. And I mean, I can remember when we started playing to about 200 people and being able to get 2 hotel rooms and being able to have like Mexican food, you know, like it was kind of a bump up. It was like, hey man, we're doing all right, you know. And now, you know, I mean, there's always different levels of success. I mean, we're not, you know, we're not on private jets and in sports arenas, but you know, we play theaters and we have a tour bus and things are comfortable and, you know, guys make a living and we're blessed.
You know, that's where you get that true vibe too, I think. You know, I always thought about that when I even look at some of these big bands that today, now they're in the 70s or something. I think when you guys were traveling around and even like a Tom Petty or a Bob Seger, or when it was 5 guys, Aerosmith, jammed into a van, driving from town to town, you had this camaraderie, you know, you were on a mission. And I think that circumstance, it created a lot better music. I think, you know, you could feel that in the music. You could feel that the artist is hungry. And I think there's a different feel to the whole sound when these bands were in their van days traveling around the country like that, than maybe now that you're flying around in a jet or whatever. I think there's a whole different vibe and a whole different influence.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's a 12-hour discussion right there. But at the end of the day, you know, there's always a yin and yang, right? You know, so like on the one hand, a band like Metallica, you know, they employ, you know, 1,500 people. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, they don't have to work another day for the rest of their lives. So when they hit the stage, it's because they want to.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still a love for it. You know, the Stones, you know, worth $300 million. They don't care at age 75 if they come back from a tour worth $302 million. Like, they love to play music.
It's blowing the people away. It's the response of the crowd. It's just the whole scene. It's you know,
the euphoria of making people feel good. It's you know, I've always said that we're doctors too. Our medicine that we give out, you don't take in the mouth, you take it in the ears, you take it in the soul. You know, and that's why the Stones do it, man. It's not to get a couple bucks richer. You know, that's why anybody hangs on to this. You know, that's why Tom Brady played football until he's, 43, 44. He just loved to play.
Yep, it's the love of the game. It's the love of the game.
Love of the music, love of the game, love of the life of seeing the world and making people feel good.
Yeah, I saw something floating around online, maybe on Facebook. I think Dave Grohl has a new special out, a documentary where he interviewed a bunch of bands talking about their van days. And I want to check that out. It looked like it was really cool. I don't know if you've seen it or heard of it, but it looks like it's something to be really cool.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah. He's a great, just one of those guys that really gets, kind of rolls his sleeves up and gets into the nitty gritty of, of music and history, and love a lot of things he's done. So I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. Now, you had mentioned Layla and the influence that song and the whole album and everything had on you. Did you happen to catch the Tedeschi Trucks band with Trey from Fish doing that album in its entirety at Locked In? Have you heard that one?
I haven't heard that yet. No, I haven't. I saw that they had finally released the audio of it, I guess. And I haven't checked it out yet, but I will for sure. Love Derek and Susan.
That's one thing I would say, like, about you and Tedeschi Trucks and Warren and Government Mule. You guys are keeping this genre of music going, and it seems like you guys are all on the top of your game, with even with with Dwayne Betts and all this stuff. It seems like you guys have soaked this music up, and it's just like you guys seem like you're the virtuosos, and you're continuing this whole sound and this whole vibe. Do you feel that way?
I appreciate it. I think that it's our duty. I've always said that I really hope if you could time travel, to the year, 2150, and there's a kid sitting there trying to figure out Keith Richards or Jimi Hendrix licks, that's the goal. You want rock and roll to transcend through the generations. So, we are the generation that came after the architects, right? So it's up to us to just keep it going, and it's up to us to make sure that the younger generation gets a chance to be heard and be seen. I always try to sign young artists to my record label. I started my own record label. I always try and have younger artists open for me. Younger artists come up and, sit in with the band and be seen and be heard. So, I don't think it's necessarily about us and our generation. It's way more about my son's generation. It's way more about doing the work so they can do it. If they choose, you know what I mean? Like, we're the bridge to get everybody over to the other side.
I follow you, and the thing is, to me, that's why I like the blues scene, especially, like these blues festivals and stuff. There are so many talented people out there that it's almost a shame that it's not more mainstream than it is, because this is where the real musicians are. These are people that are out there shredding. And where would you go and find somebody that's playing Layla in its entirety, or all these songs?
It's not a shame. You don't want this music to be you don't want this music to be in the top 10. You don't want to see Derek Trucks on the cover of People magazine, man. Come on. It's cool where it's at, because that means the real music lovers have to go and find it. And there's plenty of people loving it and supporting it and going to the festivals and going to the theaters. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, I think it's a cool thing that it's kind of reserved for the people that really want to seek out real emotion-based, feel-based music. Because for the people that just want to hear a really groovy beat, and go out and go to the dance club on a weekend and drink, they've always had pop music, and they should always have pop music. And a lot of those people hit 28, 29, 30, they get married, they have kids, and then they're just really not so into music. So it leaves our style and our niche of music available to those music-loving freaks, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I'm glad it's not the mainstream. I'm really, really glad. I think that's the beauty of it, and you still have bands like the Dead, whatever iteration of the Grateful Dead is,
right,
is out there, and the Stones, and the Chili Peppers, playing football stadiums, you know what I mean? And I think it's great. Man,
you hit it right on the head. I couldn't agree with you more. And when I look at the scene here in Youngstown and, even like at the Robbins Theater, when they're bringing in people like Johnny Lang and Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Samantha Fish, who's opening for you, and and the Buddy Guys, and then we see all these like-minded people like myself and like all your fans, the people that came to see you at the B&O station, the people that came to see you at Michael O'Malley's were the same people that were going to see Joe Bonamassa when he was starting out here in Youngstown that saw all these other people, whether, any name you want to shoot out there, Anna Popovic, Tinsley Ellis, I mean, you name it. The whole crew that's out there, and it's just like, you see these people, and that's exactly what we all share, is that vibe, as you just perfectly explained it. It's not for everybody, and it shouldn't be. And I think if it was, then we'd all be disappointed. We don't want everybody in on this. We want as many people as we can, but you got to be that like-minded thing and keeping it real,
Yeah. I mean, if it gets too big, then it just kind of gets gross. See, what happens when it gets too big is that then you have this whole line of people that come after it and try and do it for the wrong reason. Then they want to do it. They want to get a piece of it because they want to be famous, or they want to be cool, or they want a chance at getting rich, or you know what I mean? Then it becomes like, I don't know, just kind of not pure. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think it's cool where it's at.
Yep. It's like not to sound cliche or whatever, but you're keeping it real. I mean, this is really where the term keeping it real applies, because that's what it's all about. Not too long ago, I was talking to, Mike Flanagan, the drifter, for the keyboard player with Billy Gibbons and with Jimmy Vaughn. And, he was just like the coolest cat. You see a guy out there like Warren Haynes, man, he ain't out there to make $1 million or to be a movie star or to, these guys are out there to play and to bring it,
Totally.
I look at a guy like Warren, it's like that guy will play anywhere, anytime,
Totally, man.
And I just love that groove. I just love the vibe of the whole scene. And I'm just glad that you're out there, making it happen. And, Warren and Derek Trucks and Dwayne Betts and just all you guys out there just keeping this whole thing alive, and just the blues scene in general. And then you throw in a little bit of jam band stuff and everything. So anyways, I want to let you get going. We've been taking up a little too much of your time here today, Devin, but I definitely want to stop by and say hi to you. Maybe we'll get a picture. I'll throw it up on my Facebook page when you come rolling into town. So
absolutely, man.
So real quick, tell everybody what they can expect on March 5th at the Robbins Theater in downtown Warren.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a cool show. I haven't had a solo tour in 4 years. I'm looking forward to playing some stuff I haven't played in a long time. Samantha Fish is great. I think we have special guest Luther Dickinson on that show. He's phenomenal. He's one of the best guitarists in the country. Man, that's going to be the place to be that night. So we hope everybody comes out.
Sounds good. Devin Allman, thanks for taking some time with us here this afternoon, chatting with us for a little bit. And I will see you March 5th in downtown Warren. Good to have you back in town, buddy.
Thank you, brother. See you soon.